Okay, am I live? Let me know if you guys can see and hear me. So we have made it to Colonial Park Cemetery. I wasn't planning on going live, but I thought it'd be fun and maybe you guys might catch something in the background while I'm walking along. So this is a very old cemetery here in Savannah, Georgia. The gates are open for about 30 more minutes, so I thought it'd be fun to do a little walk and see if we see anything. So let's go. Okay, let me know too if I'm on portrait mode or landscape mode. I think I'm on landscape mode, but correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, let's see. So let me see if I can shift the camera around a bit so you can kind of see what we're dealing with. We are here in Colonial Park Cemetery alone at night on Samhain. I'm a bit ridiculous. And I wanted to take you guys because I am a fan of ghost hunting and I wanted things to be a bit spooky. So let's look at some of these colonial graves. Oh, I think I'm on portrait mode. Is that better? Can you guys see me? Let me see. I'm not really sure if I know how to change it away from portrait mode. Let me know if this looks better. I know obviously it's not ideal. I'm on my smartphone, so let's check out some of these graves. So some of these are pretty old. You can see here from 1812. This one here looks like 1834. And these tombs here are extra spooky. Of course, keep an eye out for orbs if you see anything like that. Last time I walked around here, I got eaten alive by mosquitoes, so hopefully that doesn't happen as much. But it's pretty spooky being here at night on Samhain. If you are gonna see something, it's gonna be tonight, so that's why I figured it'd be worth it to go on a little exploring little expedition. I hope all of your Samhain celebrations have gone well. I've been pretty busy today. Sorry I wasn't able to check in earlier. Now this gravesite, I'm not sure why it's in a gate. Must be someone important though. It's a bit tricky to read. Let me flip the screen around for a minute. So if you're joining me now, welcome, happy Samhain, and I am in the cemetery for a little bit of last minute ghost hunting with y'all, and I thought I would pop on live and see how this goes. Let me go back here and see if we see anything. It's pretty dark, so hopefully there'll be enough light. Let me see. Okay, now it's a bit tricky to tell, but in the daylight, the trees here are just stunning. Of course, full of live oaks with Spanish moss. Now, this is not Bonaventure Cemetery. If you're familiar with Savannah, that's the more famous cemetery. But this is the one that is downtown and easy for me to access since I live downtown. But I will, of course, take you guys to Bonaventure Cemetery in the future. These tombs are pretty spectacular. If you're familiar with cemeteries in New Orleans, for example, you know how they like to bury above ground there as they do here. And I love how nature kind of just takes over. Might be a bit hard to make out, but there is just plants growing out of all the tombs here. Nature is taking over. Oh, and those are the church bells. If you can hear them, add into the spooky vibes, right? Here you can see better how the plant life really just kind of is bursting through these tombs. And this here I think is a lovely crepe myrtle tree that happens to be full of the Spanish moss. And it is pretty spooky at night. Of course, this is not my usual content, but thank you all for joining me. I just thought it'd be so fun to pop on live and show you guys the cemetery and, you know, see if we see anything ghostly. Here you can see a great example of the crepe myrtle tree which has these beautiful blooms being draped in the Spanish moss. And here's another spectacular brick tomb. Got a lot of great gravestones here. Let's go to the other side and check out the dueler's grave area where people used to do duels. Let's see, let me flip the camera around and check in with you all. So I hope you guys are enjoying so far. If you've been following my stories, I shared a few photos and a couple videos of some other mildly haunted areas in the city, so check that out if you're interested. And of course, leave comments and questions. I'm trying to read them as I go. And yeah, let me show you this area. Oh, there's a tour group going on, so we'll walk past that. Let's see. Oh, question from Old Architect. Thank you very much for your question. How did I get into the cemetery at night? I have my ways. Let me flip over the screen and let's check out a couple more gravestones. It's a bit tricky to see because of the lighting, of course, but they are just so stunning. And you can see it's pretty empty here at night. Surprisingly, I didn't really see many trick-or-treaters out and about here in Savannah. I thought there'd be more, but I guess they go to the suburbs. So it's been pretty quiet walking down here. These ones are spectacular. Love it. Okay. Now we're walking into a bit of a quieter area of the cemetery. We'll see. What do we have here? This one looks very old and mysterious. Most of these, it's difficult to read them. They're so old. As you can see here, I would love if these were better preserved, so you would be able to tell who they were. Some of them you can still read, but most of them, it's pretty tricky, as you can see. And we got some good signs here. Do you guys see any ghosts yet? Keep an eye out for orbs. Let me know if you see any orbs. Okay, we got some important colonels and generals, it looks like, buried here. And let me bring you guys around. Okay. It is getting dark. I left at around dusk and it got dark so quickly. I thought I'd have better light by the time I got to the cemetery, but it just got dark so fast. But let me walk to the other side here, and then I think I'll probably head back, have some candy, and call it a night. I hope you all have had a great Samhain. Oh, and if you haven't had a chance to check it out yet, last Friday I did a Samhain edition of Pagan Happy Hour, so if you're curious on learning the history of Samhain and some historic pagan traditions, definitely check that out. Okay guys, let me flip my screen around one more time and I will sign off. Okay, let me find a good spot. Okay. So thank you for joining me for this little impromptu live stream. I've never done a live stream on my phone before, so I'm sorry about the whole landscape portrait mode getting mixed up. Sorry about that. But thank you guys so much for joining me for this little Samhain cemetery tour. It's definitely spooky here, but not too scary. And I have a pretty high tolerance when it comes to scary things. I love all of that stuff. So thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night, and I'll see you later. Bye.